Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Steven Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about the 3 biggest challenges of our land careers. Finally, we get to talk about some regular topics again.
I know. I can't wait to hear yours.
We've been talking about releasing Land Academy 1.0 and all this stuff about the new year, but it's what, the end of January now? We can back into buying and selling land. We don't talk about the real stuff. Like, we have literally generated $1 million of equity so far this year.
Yeah.
And it's what, 26 days or 7
Something
days into
like
this,
that.
28 days?
29.
With 1.2 million with
Yay.
members. That's not our deals. That's the members deals we're funding for our members. So
Exactly.
anyway, let's get back to these challenges.
Cool.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Dustin asks, so I need some guidance. I just got a signed offer back from a seller for their 2-acre parcel of vacant land. The husband signed it and mailed it back with the death certificate for his wife. They're both on a warranty deed from 1993.
So far, so good.
Right. The county records online say no improvements exist on the property. But when I look it up on Google Earth and Parcel Fact, there's clearly a house on the property. I went back to 1995, the earliest satellite images available on Google Earth, and the house was on the property. My offer, just shy of $2,400. The only property taxes due are for 2018 for $187. Is this deal a good or a bad thing? I think it's
I think you
it's
won
like
the- I
this
think
is
you
awesome. Money
actually
in the bank.
won the lottery.
Yeah. If the county doesn't know there's a house on the property, then I'm assuming no permits were pulled to build it. Am I opening a can of worms here? Is there a home run of this a home run of a deal? Yeah. What about the title issue of the wife being deceased and not being able to sign the deed? Thank you.
Well, that's a different matter entirely.
Yes. And fingers crossed, it says joint tenants with rights of survivorship. So I can't go anything further without knowing what it is. But if it says that, it's a home free.
Take a couple
on
steps
the title
back.
part.
When people take title to real estate, they have lots of options. In the end, what really happens is the title agent decides and tells no one. And 99% of the time, they choose right.
Right.
In fact, if you're new in this business, if you just stick to this, joint tenants with the rights of survivorship, when there's 2 people, 2 entities, 20 entities, if you just take title in, Jill and Steve as joint tenants with the rights of survivorship, also known as JTROS, and one of us
Something
croaks,
happens.
the other person owns the property entirely, make all the decisions, don't even need the death certificate at all.
Thanks.
So
But I'm glad you have
hopefully
it for your records.
that's the case.
Yeah.
In certain states, you need to file an affidavit. It's very simple. California, for example, is incredibly simple when someone's deceased to do that. Arizona makes it a little bit more difficult. But the fact that there's a house in this property now, because there's some money involved and some potential, makes it worth the effort and the time and the expense and the learning curve to undo
Right.
this, whatever it is, I think.
Yeah.
You should always be able to undo this. It's just a matter of time and money.
I think the big picture that I think it's Dustin is asking here is this worth doing it? And the answer is yes.
Yes, that's what
Finding something on the property is not a bad thing at all. If anything, 99% of the time it's a good thing. It's a plus.
Yeah.
And they clearly don't care, even if it's a falling down something.
Yeah.
One of our members has a great story about people finding the falling down cabin and actually cleaning it up, fixing it up, and moving it in with their kids and putting their kids in school there. Kind of thing. So it's something that they can start with. It makes it a little more special, and worth a little bit more in the end. So I think it's wonderful.
If you go on LandWatch or Land and Farm or even the MLS and you scroll through all the lands listed and it's land, picture of a land, boom, then there's one with a trailer on it. Even if the trailer's falling down,
Yep.
the trailer's worth $1,000 max. Now you're a whole different, now you're selling something that's a piece of property and you're clearly showing potential.
Right.
Jill and I have put old trailers on properties in the past just to make them stand out and they sell immediately.
Right. Just show what's possible.
So this is a good, solid question. It's a great question and very helpful actually in this environment.
Yes.
We have a bunch of new people right now, and there's stuff on your property. Hopefully, it's not a Freon leaking refrigerator.
That we don't want.
But
or the remnants of a gas station.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
Or all kinds of stuff could be buried. There's a lot of things that could
Yeah.
be out on a rural vacant land.
Exactly. Native American artifacts, don't really want that.
If you want to have some fun and you're new, go out on the land investors and ask this question. What have you more senior people found on your property that surprised you?
Wouldn't that be hilarious? That would be hilarious. That's good. I know what you would put down.
What?
A bunch of tombstones and a fence because I accidentally bought a cemetery. There's
did.
one.
I actually bought a cemetery on
Yeah.
accident.
Oops. Found that on my property.
It's a story for another time.
Exactly.
Today's topic, the 3 biggest challenges of our land careers. This is the meat of the show. Jill, you have a list.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or we could go every other one, but no, you just run through yours.
Okay, I'll run through mine. And then I'll give you my 3 and then I'll explain a little bit more.
Okay.
So these are the 3 biggest challenges for me in our land careers. Number 1, the biggest challenge I had in the beginning was because when I came on board with you, getting from county to the offer, right? Getting it in the mail. Once the phone rings, I could totally figure that out on my own. I knew what to do and I can understand.
I want to hear this.
Okay.
Getting from the county to the mail.
County to the offer for me. And you know how I solved it? I have you. So I came in, obviously, not having to get over that hurdle. And
You mean to actually put an offer campaign in the mail?
yeah.
And then all the owners get it.
Yeah.
And they call you.
Right. I'm just saying, say if I'm brand new to this career, let's just say I'm brand new to this career or throughout the career, for me, that would be the part that I have to study the most is picking the county and getting the offers in the mail. I understand the whole process. I know how to do it now, right? But in the beginning, and it was great because I had you, I didn't have to think about it. No big deal. Then my number 2, it was running out of acquisition funds. Don't have that problem anymore. But that was a challenge at one point in my land career. Was I only had so much money to spend, and shucks, sometimes we had so many great deals, I was running out of money. So I'd have to really get strategic about trying to quickly sell something so I could quickly buy something and not lose the deal kind of thing. That was a challenge. So now it's solved, obviously, for us and our members. But that was something. And then my number 3 challenge and it's kind of interesting because these are challenges like kind of the beginning and the middle and the end for me. My number 3 was getting out of my own way and trusting my team in order to grow our business. So that has been my most recent challenge. Thank you. Because I, for so long had my hands in a lot of things. And
it's pretty
only
big of
in
you
the
to
last,
admit that.
thank you. Thank you for saying that. And it's true.
I've watched you struggle with that.
Yeah.
At times, it's been a source of issue.
Yeah.
Between us.
Yeah.
Because I'm constantly saying, Jill, you're spending too much time on this. Jill,
I know.
Just get out of the way. Their staff's doing great.
I know, and let them fall down.
Mm-hmm.
That was hard for me, is learning to let them fall down. Because if I run around picking up the pieces and running around behind everybody and double checking everybody's stuff, we're never going to get anywhere. So, and this is, I want to share this with everyone here because as you grow your business, you might have that as well. You're so used to doing everything and overseeing everything and being a part of everything. So many of our members are doing this, in their home offices in the evenings on the weekends and doing all the work. And then when you finally can afford to take on some people, it's sometimes can be a challenge to just let them go, let the mistakes happen, and otherwise you won't grow.
Yep.
So those are my 3 biggest challenges of my land career.
My by leaps and bounds, my number 1 is the biggest challenge of the 3, and it has nothing to do with real estate at all. It has to do with social media and diversification of sales venues on the internet. And generally, if I have to say it in one catchphrase, keeping up with the changes of the internet at the pace of the internet.
Right.
I was one of these people who never joined Facebook, hated it. Still not the biggest fan on the planet, but it's really, really useful.
Yeah.
And so for years and years and years, for a decade, more than a decade before Jill, we bought property only one way, and we sold property only one way on eBay, and we did it like a machine. And granted, it generated tens of millions of dollars. It made me personally independently wealthy, but when the economy faltered, it left me personally holding the bag on a lot of stuff that we could have completely avoided
Right.
by using the internet, having a website. We didn't even have a website. You know, embracing the power of social media in a good way. Not there's so much junk on the social media; it gets such a bad rap. But if you use it
Right.
correctly, like we do, and like our members do, I think most of them anyway, it can be the greatest tool there ever was. Really, really efficient, and we talk about it all the time now. So that by leaps and bounds, that was the biggest challenge for me, and it took like having the rug being pulled out from me
Right.
for me to like say, "Oh, geez, let's regroup." So that was a huge challenge. There's no way to explain this unless you were buying and selling land between 1995 and 2004.
Right.
It was impossible to find the property.
Yeah.
And we all just now take it for granted because of parcel fact.
Isn't that funny?
Parcel fact, even I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm like, this is just it's a small little miracle.
Yeah.
So we literally had the DeLorme 50 set atlas that your parents drove around with in a car trying to find stuff, street maps. And we had topographical CD sets, DVD sets that we would put in one. We had like a computer over in the corner where we would go find the property.
Is that
And
your
even
number 2
then-
challenge?
Yeah, my number 2 is finding the real estate.
Okay, cool.
But that's gone now.
Yeah.
And so is the social media. My number 1 problem's gone. My
Yeah.
number 2 problem's gone.
Isn't that great?
And my third problem has nothing to do with real estate either. And it's one that Jill solved 100% was just dealing with customers.
Oh,
We,
thanks.
that's not my thing. Sales is not my thing, period. So we literally before Jill had no phone number. We would, if anybody had anything to say, I would say, you know what? I don't really want to hear what you have to say. We're happy to refund your money. And we were really lucky to be able to generate that much equity with that kind of attitude. And I look back on that now and it's ridiculous. It's a truly ridiculous attitude to have, even if you have it. And I still have it. And I'm telling you, this is what I believe. But instead of like being a curmudgeon about it, I just have a good partner.
Exactly.
And I split all the money with her, and I make way more money splitting 50% of it with her.
Thank you. And we built a great team that they handle it and they do fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank
So
you.
those are the 3 big challenges. Notice neither one of us, well, you did sort of, but
What's up?
money's not a challenge.
No.
If you have the capability,
Yeah.
or if you can learn from us or anybody else how to buy, locate, and source undervalued real estate, you are going to be
Popular.
wealthy beyond your wildest dreams.
Very popular.
And if you have not 3 cents, but you still have this talent and you know how to do this, you're going to get anything you want in your life.
Yep.
There's no way to describe it any other way than
Exactly.
that. So that's what this is all about.
I agree.
Doing a deed, you can find somebody to do that.
Yeah.
Answering your phone, we have Pat live. I mean, anything that you can, we do this at the live event. I stood up and I said, what's stopping you? All of you stand up. Tell me what's stopping you. And it was all stuff like that. Oh, I'm not sure how to do a deed. Oh, I don't have my LLC done yet. My wife's really not on board. This is a beginning group. And
Right.
stuff like that. It was never.
I still narrowed it down to 3 counties.
Yeah, I just haven't saved up enough money for that, second or third acquisition. Or it's stuff like this. If I send out 3,000 offers and 6 of them come back and they're $8,000 each, I don't have that 50, 60, 70,000 bucks to do it. Oh, okay, stop.
Well, hold on a moment. I didn't mean to change.
No.
Okay.
It's always something like that. It's never, I'm not sure if this is going to work. Or it's never like, does sending offers out really work?
No. What I found from the first event, I found no money issues. 0 money issues. There were all other issues.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's it. I think we do a good job telling everybody, and I think everybody knows this. You're starting a business, have some savings, no matter what. We all know that. That's like a no-brainer. You need to be able to, whatever it is, have the inventory, whatever you're going to start a pizza shop. I don't know. You got to have money to pay rent and employees and, and buy the supplies and the equipment. What's so funny?
It's just funny to hear a woman say, have some money, will you?
Yeah.
Will you please have some money? Just like, it's like,
we all know
okay, I have
that.
some money.
Well,
Wait, hold on. Let me get my genie bottle. Oh, hold on. I'm rubbing it. No, I have some money.
you have to
No, I
save
have
up
some money.
for that.
Let's get some diamonds.
No, I'm saying maybe it takes 6
go out
months.
to,
Maybe it takes a year. I don't
Let's go
care.
out to dinner.
Let's save up some money so you have the money. Listen, stinker. So Anyway, that's a no-brainer. I really don't know anybody that comes into this and seriously and goes, "Oh, I didn't know I need money to do this." That's not the case. They're like, "I'm afraid." There's some underlying thing that stops them from pushing the button, getting the mail out there. And sometimes they're really, really good. They're afraid to push a button, get the mail out there because they're afraid the calls are going to come back.
Yeah.
They're not afraid of the offers. They're not afraid of how they did it, not afraid of the process. They're afraid of, oh, shoot, now I got to answer the phone and do something with these people and buy these properties and post them for sale. Yeah, you do. But it's okay. Just do it. Do it. Do it. It'll happen.
I have another question for you before we're done.
Okay.
What's the thing that surprised you the most? Like every time I start something new, I'm like, oh boy, I'm real concerned about this. And then that always ends up being a non-issue. But the stuff I was like, yeah, that's going to work out fine. Is like, oh, this is way harder than I thought. Like in little components, if you break it all down. Buying and selling land. So think of all the deals that we're doing right now.
Okay, I know.
With members. Like, what's the hardest part? The most surprising part.
Oh, the most surprising part? Okay. The part that surprised me the most was there's actually two of them. Actually, it's all tied into one. What surprised me the most is my conceptions of our buyers, and what they could afford were not always correct. You cannot assume that someone calling you back, there's no way this guy on the phone has $40,000 to buy this property. This guy, I'm sure he's just a tire kicker. It's not true. Next thing you know, he's wiring the money. You can't think like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing goes true with who's going to want this property? It's so far out here. There's no way I'm going to drive out there. Who would want this? And yeah, there's beautiful trees, but man, it's on the side of a whatever. But you know what? And then watch, here they come.
Yeah.
You just do everything that we say and get it out there like we say and advertise it like we say, promote it like we say, all those things. It will happen. Somebody wants it because you're getting out there to everyone, and you're going to find the right person that has the money.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the biggest surprise, and I tell people that. And honestly, I kind of knew that going in from other jobs. You learn that in sales. You learn don't think what you can afford somebody else can afford. So I actually knew that a long time ago. And so I teach that with other people. But the property thing, I look at them going, this is kind of an interesting property. And they love it. So I'm like, just because I don't want it.
It's so interesting. This is one of the values of having a partnership. Because that never
Crossed
my mind. Because that $80,000 property, did you say 80 or 40?
40.
The way we have it all set up is worth 120. So finding a buyer like that never.
No, I bought it for 10 and I'm selling it for 40 because it's worth 60 or 70 or something. But just the conversation, and I know our members have this. It's kind of funny when it happens to you the first time when you're talking to someone and you're like, okay, it's this much me, and here, you want me to wire you them? You want me to email you my wire instructions, or how do you want to do this? And they'll go, yeah, go ahead and send it over. I'm going to move some money on Tuesday, and I'll get it done. And you're going to go, yeah, right.
Those
you hang
are the
up.
exact conversations that happen.
You hang up the phone going, yeah, right. And then you send the email, and then here comes the bank wire, and you're like, holy cow. It's funny when that happens the first time. It's like, woo. So, yeah. Anyway.
My biggest misconception by leaps and bounds was the consistent and awe-inspiring availability of ridiculously cheap real estate. And I don't just mean land.
Oh, that's a good one.
And you know what? That for me started in 1994. That feeling of, I'll never do this again. And I just had it about 3 weeks ago when a deal came in.
Yep.
We're buying a commercial piece of real estate with a member. That's between a Dairy Queen and a McDonald's, literally, on 2 freeways, so the traffic count couldn't be better, for $50,000, and it's worth $700. And Jill and I have done deals like this before, but it's just endless. Mm-hmm. It's truly amazing to me when I send out an offer, because every single time I send out an offer, I'm like, you know what? There's a chance this isn't going to work. I have that conversation with myself.
That's hilarious. I never think that.
The last major mailer we did was for houses.
Because we always get something.
I'm recording House Academy right now, too. And I did a 10,000 unit mailer in Mesa, Arizona. And we bought 5 houses.
Yeah.
One of which,
And that's just
and
so
the spread
far.
was the average spread was like 40 or 50,000. One of them we're going to make. It's the last one. It's almost done. That's just so
That's
far.
like that's only in like a
$120,000,
6 month or 8 month period. I mean, how many offers are still out there? They're still coming in.
So I hit the button on that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
there's a chance this is not. We're going to get goosed on this.
That's hilarious. You're so funny.
We made like almost $250,000.
Exactly. That's so funny.
Well, you've done it again. You spent another 20 minutes or so listening to the Land Academy show. Join us next time, where we discuss how to buy cheap, unwanted land.
And we answer your questions posted on our online community at landinvestors.com. It is free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. How do you like that for a topic?
I
That could be episode
like
1.
that.
It's like episode 907
I like
or something.
that. That's really good. Hey, I want to share real quick. It's Tuesday. Enrollment is open. And there's a special thing that my team is offering, that we are offering. So if you don't know about it, go check it out on landacademy.com. And wherever you're watching or listening, please rate us there. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
And inspiration
to buy undervalued property.